Logo up. Damn. What do you want?
We'll start on defence.
Okay, we'll take up the top here.
All right, lovely.
Great. Alex Backman, one of the captains of Chile. Mate, you're in the semis here. What do you need to do to get to the final?
Well, just play our game, really. That's all it will be. It's keep our heads, stay strong, start off strong, and it'll come naturally, I reckon.
We saw a tough one against Status Quo yesterday where you dropped down early. What did you learn from that match?
Well, it's really about grounding ourselves, I think, and starting off strong right from the get-go. That's really all it is.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Good luck for the game.
Cheers, thank you.
We'll go to Jake Angelovich.
Yeah, mate, how you going?
Jake Az,
Yes.
buddy. This is for the third potential final in a row for the Mudlarks.
It is, mate, it is. So it's exciting, a little bit nerve-wracking, but I mean, that's what you get in the big games, so that's what we want.
And you have a very good record so far. Haven't lost so far at Nationals. Ever.
Ever. Yeah, we're trying to keep that record going, mate. But, you know, Chile's a good team and we have a good rivalry. So, yeah, it should be a fun one.
All right, hopefully I haven't just put the mocker on you.
Mate,
good luck.
Good. No worries. Thanks.
Good luck for the game. And we'll be back with your commentators for this match, Simon Talbot and Andy Moroney.
Ultimate is a non-contact team sport, with 7-a-side on the field and played with a flying disc.
The field is 100 metres long, including 18-metre end zones, and is 37 metres wide.
A goal is scored by completing a pass in the end zone.
Ultimate is self-refereed.
Players are responsible for upholding the rules and for resolving fouls and violations themselves.
Each point starts with a pull. Teams line up in opposing end zones, and the defensive team will throw to the offensive team to start play.
After every goal, teams swap ends.
The team that scored starts the next point on defense.
The disc is moved around the field by throwing it to teammates.
Once players have the disc, they set a pivot foot like netball or basketball and can't move from there.
Players have 10 seconds to throw the disc.
This is counted out loud by the closest defender.
An incomplete pass is a turnover, no matter who touched it last. When a foul or violation call is made, players will discuss whether they agree on what happened.
If they agree, the call is uncontested and the fouled player retains possession.
If they don't agree, the call is contested and play resets to where the last completed pass was.
If a player anticipates a collision with another player, they can call pick to pause the play.
If the pause didn't affect the outcome of a throw, play resumes.
If it did affect the outcome, play resets to the last completed pass.
First to 15 goals wins the game.
However, at 80 minutes, time cap is called and...
Welcome to the semi-final of the Australian Div 2 Ultimate Championships. You're joining us just in time for the first point of this game, which sees Tom Rigacki put a long disc up under the air.
A couple of numbers under it. He's targeted Harrison wide, his receiver, but Medic gets over the top, gets first fingers on it, and Lewis Strading makes sure of it.
Interesting statement of intent there early, Simon.
Yeah, looks like this one's going to be a shootout. So Simon Talbot here on comms with Andrew Moroney. Thank you for joining us on day 3 here. We're getting to the pointy end of the tournament. Howard now for Geelong. Burchett. Back to Howard. He's got a free look upfield, but no one cutting deep. Recess to Thorpe. He's got Phillip wide. Phillip's got the Rigacki matchup, so drawing Rigacki out of that deep play is going to help Geelong here. Thorpe, Medic. Goes to the big crossfield shot. He's got Burchett in his sights. He's got position, goes up. And first one, a defensive conversion. Charlie Burchett reeling that one in. Geelong Mudlarks 1-0.
That's a cracking throw. That's a lovely cross-field flick break throw into that open space. A really good start and a good patient start from the Mudlarks as well. They, as you say, they probably could have had a couple of long shots, but instead opted to be a bit more patient and wait for the right option to present itself.
And defensively, they were all ready for that first long huck from Regaki. You saw 3 defenders play off their back of their assignments and all came in. You see even Howard there, the 4th.
Yep.
Really just aware of that. It's 2 teams just coming off close semi-finals with not much of a break, hence the rush start here.
Yeah. But awesome throw from Medic, always to the advantage of Burchett. Never gave his Chile opponent a look. As we do take a look at the Geelong Mudlarks lineup, some pretty imposing figures there. Isherwood and Jelovic, the Evans brothers, Pat Thorpe, but also some really exciting young talent as well. Charlie Burchett, who we were just talking about there. So interesting mix. And we'll check back in and see the Chile lineup after this point.
Duncan with the pull. Puts them very deep. Moskovich fields almost to the back of his own end zone. Regaki. Lateral cut Matthias. Matthias up the line to Harrison White, who gets it just in bounds. With Chew on the mark. Not much happening in front of him, so heads laterally. And Jelovic nearly got a piece of that, but good attack by Matthias. Absolutely no cuts happening upfield, so it's just the one-on-one battle with Regaki. Regaki goes for it. Isherwood comes in and gets the clean block. Regaki's obviously a big target for the offensive unit of Chile here, and Mudlarks are going to be well aware of that. Duncan Matthias has to come around the corner. Thorpe and goes for the big forehand, but got clipped on the way through, and that disc has just gone elsewhere.
That's about as uncontested as a foul could be. I think Abanu was just trying to get around back into position to mark.
Yep. Decent rivalry between those 2 teams. They've faced twice so far this season. Once at Victorian Ultimate Championships, where Mudlarks got the better of them. And again, a March Madness out at your local polo club near Belan in Victoria. Where Fresh Chile were victorious on that occasion. Duncan. Isherwood. A lot of cuts heading away from him. Holsters it this time. Duncan. Pumps a big forehand. Birch at the target again.
Looked good out of the hand.
Yeah, just out of reach that time.
Yeah, and you were talking about, Regaki being a key offensive target. Expect the Mudlarks to put plenty of time into him. You actually saw there Pat Thorpe, probably one of the stronger players on Muddies with the direct mark. But Isherwood was sitting at that front of the stack, knew that if it was going to go up the line, if Tom was going up the line, he was going to make life hard.
Regaki to start. Steve Thomas, number 5, in the middle of the screen there is going to be the main target, but instead, Matthias is left on his own. Has plenty of time to get to it, and Jelovic on his tail. Tries to jump it in, still 1 metre short. What's happening? He's taking his time, looking to go lateral. A huge layup in. Pat Thorpe getting horizontal early. Statement of
exceptional from Pat.
Absolute goal saver. And Jelovic, Isherwood. No cuts happening at all. Isherwood implying some movement, finds Loughnan. There's a travel call on the throw.
It may have been a foul.
A foul call. Okay, they're just letting that one go. Moskovich and Isherwood just slapping hands to acknowledge a good chat from each other. So this will start with Jacob Loughnan. Now the cuts are coming towards him. Duncan has to get low, can't get underneath it. Regaki with a quick restart. Wants to find Patel, but instead goes across the field to find Harrison White for Chile's first goal.
Now just to the closest 10, right? How many times is Pat Thorpe going to watch his own replay there? Well, that was an exceptional bit, a great D.
It'll account for, I hope the team at Kayo have another server dedicated to that line, because it's going to be...
Plenty of views.
Yep. If it was still on VHS, it would be worn out by April, I reckon, but by April 30. But you see, just try to put just too much float on that one, Loughnan, and just overcooked it a bit. And yeah, great floaty outside in forehand throw from Regaki to White. I see plenty of that. Like, it's a good mix of experience on the Fresh Chilean team here with young players as well, Andrew.
Yeah, you've got the familiar faces of Steve Thomas and Tom Regaki, 42. 5. But what I've been really impressed with is probably the new talent. 57, Lederer, 75, Harrison White, and 13, James French. Most of them are receivers, but it's been something that Chile have gotten better at throughout the course of the tournament, not going to the same 2 or 3 players, but particularly downfield looking for those players.
It's Mark Junker, one of the veterans of the team, sends the pull. Hudson fields it. Angelovic pickled early. So you see a couple of defenders getting tangled at the front there. Yeah. Ryan Samuel there disadvantaged by having to pull up in a safe manner. So the play will restart with Angelovic. Evans. Howard. And fantastic layout bid there by Riley White. Howard just pulled up a little too short there, and White just took advantage.
And you could see on Aiden's face, as soon as that D went back, he knew that he stopped there and allowed his defender a sniff.
Junker loves that around back out of the left. Heads the big hammer across field to Enza. Inboard, and El Gallo nearly gets a finger on it. And Lederer fields that one on his knees. Junker has the whole field to look at. Gonzini. Nice little cross shot forehand to James French for his first goal. Fantastic play by Gonzini there. Just really found space in the middle, and that's quite rare in these kind of games.
Yeah, and managed to then get the breakout as well. I think the message to the Mudlarks defensively that point, and I understand they were in transition, but they had their force broken 2 or 3 times, and that obviously means that the Chile offense will be able to throw to either side of the field. Great D. But yeah, they've got to start with the basics, try and shut down one half of the field with the force. And
it's easier said than done on a thrower like Mark Junker. He's got a very, very wide pivot. He's got a throws with his left hand very well, so it's sometimes misread by defences. And yeah, just a nice, easy open shot. Defenders out of step there.
And that was actually out to the break side. That's why you saw probably 3 Chile players all on the right side between the disc and the defender. But Simon, I think the positive thing for us is we're 3 points in. We've seen 2 breaks. This will be a topsy-turvy game. There will be runs, and I think we're looking at a 2 to 3 point game at the most. Daniel, over to you.
Well, hello Simon, hello Andy, and hello everyone at home. I'll bring you some score updates from the other men's semi. At the moment, it's 1-1.
1-1 that between Status Quo and Manly. Both out of City. Of course, the winners of the 2 semis facing later on at 2 o'clock this afternoon. About 3.5 hours from now for international viewers. Lean back to Thorpe. Thorpe, big rangy backhand. He's got Phillip and Isherwood as a target. Phillip pulls out. Nice one to Isherwood. Great little double back cut there. Very good set play there from the Mudlarks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that throw probably went a little too far right than Isherwood anticipated, and that's why Phillip thought he might have been in the play too, but he tracked it really well. It was dying quite quickly, but obviously a set play there. You see Isherwood and Phillip both 6'3", so their advantage is obviously high, long discs. Josh did really well, got called out, saw that it was Mark's space, and Mark completing a little backhand for the goal.
Of course, not the first time Isherwood and Phillip have played together. They've way back when both played for Melbourne Juggernaut in Division 1. But now both residents of the Geelong and Surf Coast area. They've joined the local team to get some legs in, get some runs in with them.
Yep. Nice pickups if you're hoping to make another Div 2 Open final. Not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad to go from 2 times champions and then strengthen your team with former Australian representative players.
Exactly.
Duncan to pull again. Got a huge throwing range, Duncan. He's able to pin them back in their own end zone to start with. Backman to field and pull. Regaki, Thomas. He's got a long option on Patel, but off to the left of screen. Doesn't like it though. Regaki. Not much coming towards him. Everything heading away. Finds Matthias. To Thomas. Wants to go laterally. Matthias working to get those up the line shots. Puts it up looking for Regaki. Thorpe's going to have to do some work. Has to go early, but he just gives up too much in height to Regaki, the big 6'7" giant.
Yeah, well, credit to Paddy. He did everything he could there. He was right on him, made the bid, but as you're saying, it's probably the difference in the height was the difference in the grab.
Yeah.
Paddy got up there, but when Tom does as well, everyone's going to struggle.
Yeah, you can see in the middle of the screen there, you see Regaki just taking his time, waiting for the cutters to come under, so he's got that space long, and already had 2 steps on Thorpe, who just head checked back to the disc just to see where it was, and that's enough of a head start.
Yeah.
And the throw from Matthias up the line had to be perfectly weighted to put to his teammates' advantage, and kept in bounds as well. There's no wind to speak of. It's great conditions for ultimate. Bit warm out there, a bit warmer than we've been having the last couple of days. So,
yeah, a really good throw, really well weighted, and to the advantage. And as you say, Tom's, 9 foot tall, so that's the right place to put it. Don't be putting it out in front of him. Put it up high. Work for Chile. Well done.
So 3-2 to fresh Chile. Good Mudlarks to receive on this one, so a chance to bring it back to 3-all. Poole gets down there quickly, so Hudson fields it, gets it to Phillip, gets the easy early yards. Delgalo's got the opening cut, followed by Stratting, but Chile have crowded that top side. And Jelic finds space on the near side. Not much coming towards him, just goes short to Delgalo. Nice little give-go movements. Donald Guy. And Jelic winds up, he's got a couple of his advantage, and nice, easy as you like. Joshi Phillip, there's a connection we're going to see a lot today, I think.
Yeah, already 2 goals for Phillip.
And Jelic was just left completely unmarked there. Why you would do that is anyone's guess. I think they suspected, look, he's going to throw deep anyway. He'll probably break any mark. So let's just pull an extra defender out to try and do something at the back here. But even then.
Well, that's okay if you're going to do it, but you've got to actually do it. Right now, you saw, if you pause it there, you see 3 white shirts all deep of their player.
Yeah.
And even though, to be honest, they were probably standing a bit too deep, but Angelic was able to use the width of the field. So rather than throw in front, he threw it wide. So that's good spacing from the Mudlarks, I guess, horizontally. Anyway, so for those at home, it's a non-contact sport. You're not allowed to, I guess, intentionally cause contact. That was Tom's point there. So Pat, obviously knowing that Tom wants to go deep, is standing in his way. You're allowed to do that if you're making a play on the disc, but Tom's point there was that he wasn't. I probably think he's within his rights too. As I said, at first glance, it looked like Pat was initiating contact.
These 2 players do get along well. It's a heated conversation, but both just play with that intensity. They'll be completely fine with it after the game.
Yeah, I don't think any of it was disrespectful.
Of course not. Scholes. Right on the sideline now, about 50 from goal. How much coming towards him? Chong finds space. Wants up the line. He's taken a second shot. He shot that way too late and just gone to no one. I don't think Thomas is ready for that one.
No.
I think he's taken 1 or 2 steps out, looking to come back towards the disc. And yeah, of course, Chong's put his hand up and said, yep, sorry, that's on me.
Yeah, I mean, the angle that you throw it at too doesn't give your partner any chance.
Burchett. Thorpe up the line. Finds Isherwood unguarded. Sends a big hop. Throw up, looking for Kelvin Chu. Had a bit of work to do. It was a good look.
Yeah, it was. He put a lot of pace on that because Chu was already very deep. So by sitting it up, you give the opportunity for other defenders to come in and have a sniff. He didn't do that, but Chu unable to reel it in. Just as Tom goes to get the disc, a shout out to the alumni from the Geelong Mudlarks tuning in from around the country, people like Louis Broad, giving a big cheerio to his team, supporting from the Gold Coast. It's nice to see that from a community aspect, Simon. People, even when they stop playing or play for different teams, always want to tune in and see how their old team's going.
Ogaki running with the horizontal set, lining up across the field. Perez unguarded, got a clear look at the field. Yeah, they've just got Isherwood of just sitting out the back there, player on his own on the left, just to really discourage that long shot. And they're just going to leave the throwers unguarded. And And that way Regaki finds space through the middle, puts a long shot out in front of Backman, who's going to have to do some work, but he reels that in. Just a bit of explosive last 5 metres of pace there and make sure of it.
A great shot from Regaki, timed it perfectly, like you called on during the point, Simon. Isherwood was sitting out the back waiting for that long throw to go. Regaki's played long enough that he knows whilst Mark's sitting out there, he's not going to throw it. But as soon as Mark had to come back under, as you see here, Mark is basically parallel, Isherwood parallel with Regaki, so Regaki knows there's no deep threat. And Backman ran onto it really well. Awesome, nice weighted throw, safe goal. Good offense from both teams.
It was a great read of the play by Backman there to see Regaki go under, draw the 2 defenders with him and go, right, I've got some space out the back here, and just got the jump. Let's go to Daniel Clinton on the sideline. What are you seeing for us?
Well, score update from the status quo and Manly semi-final. It's 3-3 currently.
3-3. Looks like a nice even contest over there. It's last couple of Division 2 championships, there's been sort of 1 or 2 clear favourites, Andrew, but it's a pretty open field. We expected Fishwick Unit to be in this semi-final, but they were upstaged by Fresh Chili in the quarter-final earlier this morning.
Yeah, I think you can probably put a blanket over, as we see Mark Junker put a nice backhand pull-up. You pop a blanket over 5 teams, and the 4 teams that are in this semi deserve to be here, absolutely.
Lean fields the pull. Phillip. Mudlarks run what we call a side stack. We'll talk about that shortly. Phillip. Medic. Nice floaty throw. Lean gets horizontal, reels it in. Happy to take his time. Back to Medic. Mitch Field doing some work at the front there. There's so many options coming towards him. They're just going to have to work between the 2 of them, Lean and Medic. And he's going to have to go. He's got a high stall count and just had no options there. Phillips got in front of it, and the Junker had hot front position there and got the contact. I think Junkers, they're going to have a chat. I don't think there's a clear foul call yet. No. Yeah, it was just a stop, just to say, what did you think? What did you think? I think they has to agree that, look, it could very well be an offensive foul, but the disc was turned over anyway. So
yep, agreed. Yep. Phillips, you're seeing coming from behind a little bit of contact initiated. Phillip, the frisbee jumped out of his hand, but he knew he'd initiated the contact. So play on, but incomplete.
Not the result you want.
And probably not what you expect from Mark Junker, who's one of the most experienced and patient throwers on the team.
Ashley Evans for Geelong now. Pick called on the stack. We saw Mitch Field there get open clear on what we call the break side, the near side of the field. The side the defence is not actively guarding.
I love Mitch. He reminds me of a dog with his face out the car window. If you get a close-up of him running around, he actually runs around with his tongue wagging out of his head, having an excellent time. Love Mitter.
Evans has no reset. It's going to have to throw forward. Finds Domagai. Taking his time. Evans circles around the back.
Good pressure from Chile.
Good inside shot. Oh, Field straight through the hands. He's covered lots of distance this point. Junker winds up, sends the backhand. Fields there. He's got 2 to contend with. He's got Taifa and a huge layout grab there from Vince Lederer.
Excellent grab.
That's a huge score for Fresh Chili to go up 5-3.
Great defense, great bids from both players, the defense as well as the offense, but that's an incredible grab, and that's one that can really help energise the team.
Yeah.
It's worth more than just the point on the board. It's everyone going, you know what, that player's having a dip, it's my turn next.
Yes. You don't want to be the one not contributing when that's the bar being set. So you see Lean there. Great form, just really kept his eyes on the disc the whole time. Didn't try and sort of put his hands down the jar, get the disc secured, then worry about the landing. So it just... This backhand again from Junker. Again, that left hand just allows him to step away from the marker, because typically the marker's trying to force the right-handers into a forehand throw.
Yep.
But he can just step away, put some distance between himself and the marker and just get that out easily. And yeah, he threw to a 2-on-1. Ethan Taifa there also support, but yeah, great layout catch by Lederer.
And actually to complete that under pressure as well, really impressive.
So we're ticking over 25 minutes in. Of course, this game capped at 80 minutes. So the score target's 15, but if we reach 80 minutes before our team's got to 15, it'll be reduced. Thorpe. He's thrown that to space, and he's put his hands up in the air saying to Philip, where were you going? So Backman, 25 from goal. Samuel.
It'll be an uncontested foul here. Pat wants to have a chat.
Let's have another look. We'll have another look at that one. He's
know if I changed directions. I don't think I know I jumped straight into the back, but you just jumped in and I couldn't do anything apart from jump off the sky.
So from my perspective, you fouled him into the back?
Yeah, no, I jumped into his back 100%. What I'm saying is he changed direction and gave me no chance to do anything else. I was running. That's all I'm saying. It's probably still a foul. I thought you were this side.
So you're accepting the foul?
Yeah, I'm accepting the foul.
But do you affect
it's an uncontested foul. It's uncontested. It's uncontested.
Okay, uncontested.
Well, that's the most contested sounding uncontested foul I've heard in recent times. So Paddy obviously had his angry pills today, but understands that you can't make contact with another player, so it's uncontested it. Stay with Chile.
So Samuel, about 15 from goal. He's got an up the line option. He puts way too much on it. Dipped out of the hands of Moskovich, and
it's an injury.
Yeah, but Duncan's gone. Yeah, Moskovich really had to go at that one. I think he might have just...
I think it's his ankle.
Yeah, extended himself a bit too much there. So he's taken the sub off, and Mark Junker's going to take the sub on. But the disc will stay with Duncan as he got the clean intercept in the end zone. So another crucial chance for Mudlarks here. He winds up, sees Phillip going long. Phillip versus Junker. Surely you back Phillip here in the air. He had the space. He's worn a bit of contact again. They're just going to have a quick chat to each other. We haven't seen a clear foul yet, so yeah, I think Philip's contending like he had position, had the hand out, and the contacts.
Thoughts? So you're calling a foul? I'm calling a foul because he didn't let me get off the ground. Jump straight over the top.
And I came around you like you were here. Like there's no way I can get this hand if I'm coming over.
I mean, we need to look at the replay, but
yeah.
Well, what I saw was that Mark had a position, and then you sort of come and encroached on that, and then there may have been a bit of contact in there, but I felt that he had the position first.
Yeah, right. Well, the disc was here. Junker hit me from behind here. I'm calling the foul.
Okay. So, Junker, you're contesting?
Yeah, contested foul. As you said so Philip's contending he had, Philip did sort of jump towards, we'd call that incidental contact. They've both just gone for it, but contested foul's probably the right outcome.
Well, yeah, I think I can understand what Josh is saying. He thinks he had position, but the disc actually bobbled a bit, so he thought he had a good read there, and the disc continues. So I actually think Junker probably had that position.
Yeah, because Junker did the right thing by coming around the outside of him to try and take a new position, but then,
I don't know what more Mark could have done to avoid contact.
Absolutely, but
players have had a discussion. Disc is going to go back. Tom Duncan is going to throw the same thing again to the same duo this time. Oh, and Joshi's caught it now.
He's come down with it anyway. Right on the doorstep, 3 from goal, right on the sideline. So he's going to look upfield, and Thorpe just absolutely torches the young player there. Just one jab step backwards, and then strolls into the end zone for the easy goal.
And what was nice to see at the conclusion of that point, actually even midpoint, so that second one that goes up, Mark Junker probably did foul Josh, and actually I think you saw the hand go up. Josh, this time, funnily enough, caught it anyway, so it didn't necessarily affect the play, but both players, so you see, Junker knew clearly into his back.
Yeah.
Nice save from Josh. Junker straight away with the hand up. So, my bad.
I think he realised late that Philip actually caught it. I think he was calling the foul and goes,
correct.
oh, hang on, he's actually...
contested, but both players, little handshake as we have our first time out of the game. We'll head to Dan Clinton shortly, but Simon, it's nice to see, even though there was some discussion in that point, some contested calls, some uncontested calls, both players showing sportsmanship at the end of the point. Yeah. Dan, over to you.
Well, Ultimate being self-refereed, it's always interesting to see the different perspectives. I was completely oppositely opposed. Steve Baker, the observer who gave his perspective, my perspective was that I agreed with Josh. So it looked like Junker had went into him. It's just interesting how, different perspectives can lead to a different interpretation of the rules.
And that's why that contest mechanism exists, just to reset the play. Like, you can argue for 10 minutes about who had the right or wrong, but if you just decide early on, we just don't agree on what happens, so let's just send it back and go again.
Yeah, totally. And, you've got to trust the players who are out there, as well as their teammates who will have a perspective, and the game advisors, who are a great asset that we can use to build perspective as well.
Of course, many years of experience across both teams here, and have faced each other numerous times, so they do know each other. It's always fairly respectful discussion, even though it may sound heated.
Yeah, and these games in particular, these are the stronger or the strongest teams based on results. They're at a semi-final, and
of course.
People want to win. This is important. Teams train for it. They invest their time and their money to come up here and do it, so they want to get the result. And I don't think we'd want it any other way.
Yeah, things you might have let go back in January sort of
it gets a bit more serious.
Becomes a bit different. Okay, yeah.
There are smiles, but the smiles might be slightly more gnash-teethy kind of grit.
The grey area gets a lot thinner.
Yes.
Thorpe, huge pull. Thorpe, of course, plays plenty of disc golf to train his backhand, and he's put that one out the back of the end zone. So
that's all the difference. What's that? 1.5 meters, 2 meters?
Yep.
That lands 2 meters shorter.
They're right back there, and instead they get a 40-meter advantage.
Free kick,
yep. So,
but I think we're going to see some cracking pulls both ways.
Yeah. So Chile will have that. You can see they've got 3 handlers back. Regaki, the one walking it up to the brick mark. They run with the horizontal set, basically just to give him 4 looks upfield rather than waiting for players to take turns. So we'll probably see Matthias top of screen on the wide shot, come across for a lateral, or go deep. There we go, nice little executed set play. Goes wide to Riley White, who's right on the sideline. Checked his feet, he's all good. Has a look upfield, he saw Backman, who has...
What a break.
Absolutely lost his defender there. Phillip just caught in 2 minds about what was going to happen. I think he just didn't expect White to have that backhand.
Yeah, and it was an excellent break. So, as we've said before, your objective when you are marking the play with the disc is to try and shut down at least half the field. Yeah. And that gives your your teammates a smaller amount of field to have to defend. Yeah. By throwing that around, you'd see, Joshi was nowhere near.
Yeah.
Great cut by Backman to trust his player to say, I reckon you're going to be able to break this. And Dan, I think you had a really good view of it from the sideline.
Well, that was a hell of a throw. He just kept going, extending, and his arm just kept going around the mark, and the mark was pretty tight. He was. That's a hell of a throw from where I was standing. And the other game across the field, it's currently 5-all status quo, and Manly, they are going at it.
Thanks, Daniel. Riley White, out of the first started playing Ultimate at Deakin University. Quite a number of young Chile boys have come out of that club in recent years. So Fresh Chile with a 2-goal lead. But Mudlarks on offense now with a chance to bring it back to 1 goal. They would want to be putting this one in just to stay in touch. We're 33 minutes in. Regaki with the ball. That's going to drift out of bounds, that one. And that'll give Geelong a start from the brick mark, so only 44 to go to goal. We're going to see Tom Duncan picking this one up.
And
they've gone with the vertical stack here, Andrew, the central formation.
Yeah, they have, and we're going to see on the pools we've had 2 kind of bricks in a row. We are going to see one of those land in the back corner. It's a bit of a risk and reward play. They know that the advantage they get by a deep pool landing in the back of the end zone just puts so much pressure on the offense.
They're allowing Duncan to have that backhand throw that high side, so he takes it to Thorpe. Thorpe's got Delgado going long, doesn't like it. Back to Duncan.
Good gainer from Mark.
Yeah. Duncan up the line. They really need to be crowding that top side if they're going to let the throwers do it, because the cutters are just getting too easily up there. Delgado about 8 from goal now. Looks laterally, because Godinzini was there for Chile guarding that open side. Duncan's got to look at both sides of the end zone there. Evans gets ahead of Regaki. Again, just looks laterally though. Don't want to try and punch into that front corner. But again, Thorpe, same move. Different defender, but same move. Just that jab step for that backwards lateral throw. And the defender, he's convincing enough with his movement that if you don't follow it, he'll get it. But if you do, he'll just bounce the other way for the easy goal.
Yep. And nice decision making from TD.
Duncan.
Tom Duncan.
Yeah.
Tom Duncan, I think actually ex-Chile, correct? He used to play for Chile. So, but I've been probably pleasantly surprised just at how well he's fit into this this Geelong outfit.
Yep.
We've made a couple of comments around, this team's been around for quite a long time, the Mudlarks, so there's a lot of connection, but he's slotted right in and it's kind of that point marshaled the defence. I also think Mark Delgado did really well with his cutting. He's been a little bit quiet so far, but made a nice long cut, wasn't on it, came under, made a gainer. Mark, a representative at the junior level, I believe, both at under 18s and under 23s. So a lot of talent there that they could extract, and it's great because it keeps Mudlarks in touch 5-6, trailing by just 1 point.
So they've got a strong defensive line on here. They've got Burchett, Phillip, Angelovic,
Isherwood,
Fox, Isherwood, Chu, and Field. So some hard runners here. A big pull. That's going to land inbounds back towards that corner, but Regaki will field it early to Backman straight away again. They're also forcing to that high side, that backhand throw, because there is now a wind coming from top to bottom of screen, so trying to force those throws upwind. Chong back to Scholes. Has a long look upfield. Chong finds space in that open side. Chu doing a lot of work on the mark, and big collision there straight away. I think that's Isherwood tries to just get on with it, pretend it didn't happen.
If I run away far and quickly enough, I won't hear the foul call.
If I don't hear the foul call, it didn't happen. So, but Scholes, that's clear foul, that one. So that'll remain with Scholes, probably as an uncontested foul.
Do you mind if I ask the advisor if that's okay?
So is the question...
Had I not got it, would he have called that in?
Yeah, that would have been in.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Oh, okay, so that was the question, whether it would have been inbounds or not.
Uncontested.
Yeah, uncontested.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, okay, fair question from Isherwood. Like, if I wasn't there, would the outcome of the play still be to complete a pass? But yeah, the game advisor, Aidan Turner over there, said yes, it would have been, so he was happy to accept that. So Scholes remains, heads backwards and laterally. Again, they don't want to put it into that front corner just because there's too much defensive pressure, but as soon as I said that, Matthias has found Scholes doubling back, and Toby Scholes, the MVP at that point.
Yeah, big time. Yep, nice athleticism from both players. Nice concise view from the game advisor as well. Going, they had perfect position. That's why they put them on the sideline so that they can get that kind of perspective.
And Isherwood very clear in just what information he wanted. He was happy just to ask. This is going to help one.
Yeah, Burchett just getting caught a little bit on that, not standing open enough, leaving that. Like you said, Simon, it was a little window, but it was still a window to throw into.
And of course, typically cuts on that open, as we call the open side, where the one the defence is giving the thrower, will come from the back of the field towards the thrower for a nice straight throw. But Fresh Chile are okay with providing lots of lateral cuts, so drawing their defender away to this near side of the screen and then doubling back towards the top and beating it for pace.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. So 7-5 now. Again, Geelong back on offence. It's crucial time of the game because if Fresh Chile get the break now, they go into the half break with a 3-goal lead. So Geelong definitely need to just get this one in.
Yeah, and once again, some Mudlarks putting a really strong line on because they recognise the importance of this point.
Thorpe winding up to find Evans long, but he'll double team, so Hudson finds space underneath. Having a good long look, no count yet, so has plenty of time. Thorpe, he's got Evans, this time he takes the shot, and that is a perfect shot, could not be better, but Evans is going to have to work, and he's got it.
I think they've called it in. Yeah, it just kept going.
Yeah.
We expected it to kind of sit up. It came out with real heat, but generally, what happens with longer discs is the disc slows down as kind of it continues to go. It loses its momentum.
What Evans thought, this will slow down. It's my lap and realised at the moment. But what was brilliant there, great reaction by Evans. Let's see this throw again. The throw was at the centre of field, so up the line.
Yeah.
You didn't see it on screen, but I think it was Riley White there was the one chasing Evans. He saw the wind up and thought, this is going to go down the line. I'm perfectly faced here.
Yep.
But he's put it in field, and Evans recognised straight away and was able to turn back and go over his left shoulder instead. So
They did well to ground his feet nice and early. He knew the sideline was there. Gives it a little tickle with his foot. He's pretty happy with his work.
The old kick spike just to let us know that it's a confirmed goal. So again, a strong defensive unit there from Mudlarks. Again, if they're going to choose one side of the field to give, they've really got to absolutely nail that. They've got to make sure they really crowd that open side, and I guess dare Chile to try and put something over the top or a riskier throw around.
Totally.
If they want to get their hands on it, because they're just not going to get a missed throw or a mistimed one on that open side.
And now conversely, you're probably seeing a stronger line from Chile as the ball's gone from Jake. So it's coming in with a bit of angle.
Big run through D. James Fox, huge moment here. He goes back to Burchett.
They've got to convert this.
Phillip, the sideline's loud and active now. And Fox, he's done it. He's done it twice. He's got the block and the goal. This is a huge moment, and that's just the wake-up Geelong needed.
And look at him go. After he caught the goal, he took off. It was reminiscent of Warney at his hat-trick at the G. They couldn't catch him.
That was an incredible run down by Fox. I don't know what. Sometimes you just get caught in two minds. As you see, so Backman took that pull. Scholes thought, I can position myself here. And just Fox, you just see him coming like lightning from the side there.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. So it's out of his vision. Like he wasn't able to pick it up. And you know, sometimes even as a thrower, your heart sinks when that. Firstly, we've all thrown them.
Oh yeah.
So Backman, upwards and onwards. Don't drop your head, fella. But Regaki was kind of in the way. So you know, it's almost like a sneak attack.
Yeah, blind spot.
And you know. 9 times out of 10, your pull reception is normal. You catch it and you throw it to the axis. You just got to have half a look as we head over to Dan Clinton on the far sideline.
Yeah, the game between Manly and Status Quo, very tight still. Status Quo up 6-5. They currently have the disc and they just called a timeout, so an opportunity potentially for them to go ahead 7-5.
Big moments in both games now. This is Galaxy Point.
Big games. Teams will spend the first half an hour, 35 minutes sort of feeling each other out, looking for those, where can we get that advantage? And then that spark of a moment comes that kicks the game into the next gear. So the first team to score here will have a half break, regardless of who gets this. Regaki. It's got Thomas one out long with Field off the left of screen. Opts to go under to White. White with Duncan on the mark. Has a good long look upfield and puts that break back end out to Backman. Mudlarks forcing. He's put that long to Mateus, but Mateus is going to have to do some work, and he's got that inbounds.
That is a fantastic point. Good grab from ABBA, but that's a great point by Backman.
Yep.
Cold turn at the point before, but what I really liked, and they're all getting around until they can see this, because that's not just a great throw, but he caught the first pull again of that point. So, you know, you've got a choice as a player. You can either go back in your shell, okay, look, I'll let someone else do it. No, took the pull, did the first catch that didn't go his way the first time, and then ultimately threw the goal. So, well done to him, well done to Chile for giving their teammate that trust.
And that's complacent marking there. Again, Geelong are trying to force him to throw infield. They're trying to force him to throw infield, but they're just thinking, that up the line shot's not going to come. So they're just too complacent about it, just letting it come out too easily. We're going to throw down to Daniel Clinton, who's there with Riley White.
One of the young stars of this Chile team, Riley. That break backhand of yours is pretty deadly, mate.
Yeah, I give it my best shot. See if it comes off sometimes, so yeah.
Well, it's come off twice there. One to score and then one to Alex Backman, the captain. Mate, what's your role in this team?
I'm mainly on the D line, sometimes get called on for O points. So I'm kind of just all round, help out. They just put me, you know, where they want, and I try and do my best. So.
All right, brilliant, mate. Well, you've taken half here. Good luck for the second half. We'll go back to you, Andy and Simon.
Fantastic attitude there from Riley, just doing the part for the team.
Yep.
Great to hear.
Yeah, and he's having a good time, and that's what both, all teams here are here to do. Nice to see it smiles, even though it's as close as it can get. We're basically back on serve now because Geelong are going to come back on O to have a chance to make it 8-all. So, as we said earlier in the match, it will be ebbs and flows.
We're going to take a break for a couple of minutes. We'll be back with the second half shortly. Second half action underway. The Australian Division 2 Ultimate Championships coming to you live on Kayo Freebies from Nelson Bay in the Port Stephens area of New South Wales. Simon Talbot here with Andrew Moroney, and we've got a game here, Andrew.
Can't be closer, Simon. 7-8 Mudlarks trail, but they're going to be receiving the disc that Tom Regaki's just pulled. It's nice and deep. It won't be caught. So given it's rolled out the back, the Mudlarks will be allowed to walk it up to the end zone line, in line with where it went out the back. So that's the front line. And it looks like
horizontal formation with a bit of a zone-ish look. I think they're playing sort of 2 up front, 4 across the field, and just Regaki 1 out at the back. So
yeah. So the idea here is that 42 on screen there, Tom Regaki will be closing anything off deep.
Thorpe straight through the middle to Evans, and Evans just gone deep looking for Angelovic. Rugaki's making up ground, but Angelovic is in front of him, and it's just too good a throw. That's just amazing.
Well done from Ash Evans. He received a little bit of feedback at half-time to do something and make a highlight, and he's certainly done it.
That looked absolutely effortless from Geelong, but the skill in those two throws, that first one through the zone by Thorpe to find that gap, and then Evans just to get around the defender, and that's a 60, 65 metre throw.
Yeah. You could see
Rigaki precision, perfectly weighted.
Yeah, you show any more air to that, you saw Rigaki's closing speed quite well. Angelovic did use his body well, so had there been a contest, it would have been really hard for Rigaki. But really well done from Ash. But that first throw through the cup, you can see Tom's head drop and go, I've got to do some work here. Dan, over to you.
Well, the fight back is on. Manly up now, 7-6 against Status Quo. Status Quo really struggling to close out that first half.
Status Quo, the Masters team out of Sydney, so Manly full of a lot of fresh-faced, energetic youngsters. So that could be the story of that game.
And just fantastic. We've got two semis that cannot be closer. We've got 8 all here.
Yeah.
Tied over there, so some exciting finishes in store. Don't go anywhere.
Thorpe, huge pull. That will drop down at the last minute and stay in bounds. This is going to put some pressure on Fresh Chili. Backman, that first pass finds Chong. They're now forcing him to this near sideline. Backman, no options through the middle. And, nearly a collision there between Mateus and Junker, but Mateus takes it, puts a big fighty throw out. There's going to be bodies underneath this one. Let's see who gets it. Thorpe gets position. He goes backwards. Thomas comes in sideways, and there's 2 foul calls made here. So so Steve Thomas, he's come in hot, but there, got Duncan with his arm and straight away apologetic, saying, I'm sorry about that one, mate. I didn't, So Duncan's taking the injury sub.
Like you were in front of me.
Yeah, so it was actually 2 elbows. So it was.
It would have been your own teammate because he came from this direction. Nice try.
I don't know.
It smells like it's gone back, but like.
Have you got video footage? Yeah. Okay, so I didn't. Hang on. I didn't see contact on you, although that may well have happened. I did see someone come in afterwards and contact the 2 Geelong players. I'm not sure if that affected your play on the disc though. But if
so I would have had a jump at it, but I've popped an elbow and I haven't been able to jump.
So if that's before the second contact, then
people push people and other people push people.
Yeah, right. It's just sent back.
100% go back. I'm sorry,
Why shouldn't we send back?
if you can't agree on what's happened, it should go back.
I went to jump up before you guys. Don't. When I make contact, I make the right call. Time you to reciprocate. Come on. I went to jump up. If I jump before you do, very long go. And then you guys good ball. I was going to get long.
We'll catch the viewers up on this one once we're done.
So it's been, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think just send it back and move on.
It's been 2 minutes. We've got to carry on.
So
a lot to unpack in that, Simon. So help take our viewers through it.
So there was 2 separate foul calls in there, and that's what they were trying to decide. So Harrison White from Chile, he was arguing that he got fouled first, and that sort of set everything in motion. So his understanding was that was the first one that happened. So why we should be taking that one while everyone else was too concerned about the latter foul. And White's right in that regard. It should be the first one happened, but Steve Baker in there just stepping in, saying, look, we can't agree. Let's call it contested and move on. So Mateus to Junker. Medic wise to that back end now, blocks it off. Doing a little give work between these 2 handlers, and Mateus has put that one down. Medic looks to play quickly, has one look. Saves it, he's got a hot mark on him. Pat Thorpe Puts the big flick out to Ash Evans, and Evans, he's run away with that one. The big kick spike to celebrate, and that's a huge way to start this second half.
And you know who was really at fault for that big pack grab? Abbott Mateus, the guy that threw it. Popped it up there.
So Thorpe and White, they're just going to have another chat about this. I think they'll work it out. Yeah, they've
slap hands after.
Yep, we're all good.
As we head over to Dan.
Score update from the far field. The other men's semi at 7-all, Galaxy Point.
Ooh. Great. That's Evans with a couple of goals now.
Yeah, I was going to say he's the one that's really lifted in this second half.
Yep. And he's can read the play so well that he's not necessarily going at a breakneck speed all over the place, but he just picks the space. He trusts his throws. That's the big one. He doesn't think I've got to cut towards them or to a particular space. I'm just going to find some space. I'm going to sprint towards it. And I'm going to see what the thrower does.
Yeah, and he has the gift of in his teammates having some exceptional athleticism as well. So they've got wheels. And Chile don't really have an answer for it right now.
Right now, no. So Mudlarks are stolen the lead. They've got a defensive line on. We see Mark Isherwood. DePaulie's overcooked that one. That's going to land out of bounds.
Yeah, I think when you've had 2 or 3 years out from the game and you're demanding the pool, it's probably a bit rich.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's very sheepish with his, it wasn't me, umpire. It wasn't me.
Hoping we wouldn't notice, but, mate, we see everything.
Yes.
So Ragaki's going to field this one from 20 metres in. So 44 to goal. They've got a vertical set, so they've got room on both sides for Ragaki to throw to. With Evans on the mark, he's got a flat mark, trying to make him throw on an angle, which he does, to Taifa. And Taifa's gone to Thomas, but put it too far infield into the hands of Isherwood. Isherwood imploring someone to come towards him. Medic finds time, and there's a pick called. Yeah, so James French happy to say, yep, Medic would have caught that. I just wanted to stop play so there wasn't a collision. So you see another look. Nathan Taifa just, too much angle on that throw. Not quite to the advantage of his teammate.
Yeah, but it's Isherwood's proximity to his defender that makes that throw a bit harder. Yes. They start to push it a bit more. Phillips poached.
Phillips is seen with Isherwood. Isherwood's drifted deep. There we go.
Big momentum shift in this game. That's 2 breaks.
Huge.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout come from Chile at this point on X point.
And just as you've said that, they have called it.
There we go.
Yep. So they left. Ragaki was again crowding that space, trying to pressure the long thrower, and it meant that Philip, you could see out the top right there, he's just drifted backwards and lateral to drag Ragaki out of the play. Isherwood's recognised there's no deep threat from here, so I'm just going to drift long.
Yep.
And Phillips just put it out, sitting in his lap. So the refs played that backhand. Not a huge wind up on it, just
let the wind do a little bit of the work.
Yeah, float it out and let the big man do what he does.
Well, also we were talking about the athleticism of the team to run onto the discs.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, that was Mark Isherwood's thing. These days, probably just float it out a little bit for him.
Just give it a bit more time.
Yeah. But done well. Waited really well.
Yeah. So Daniel was over listening to the Chile huddle. Any insights?
Yeah, I've learned from my mistake at halftime. I tried to listen in on the Geelong huddle. There was exactly nothing talked about there, as they're a famous team who have no plan and have no trainings. Chile, on the other hand, much more structured. Tom Ragaki leading the talk, just saying that their attitude has dropped. And the defensively, they know what's coming. The Geelong Mudlarks offense is predictable. They just need to know what's coming.
Yeah. We know what's coming. The Mudlarks, they're going to really go all in on their long game now, I think, for the rest of this game. They really work their shorter game through cutters like Fox, like Delgado, like Field.
Yep.
To basically tell Fresh Chile, hey, we're going to work the entire field here. You've got to cover everything. And now that Chile are really stacking that really covering that other space, it's given throwers out the back. And what Geelong are doing really well that you've probably noticed is only one cutter's going deep at a time.
Yeah. They're leaving that space deep. Everyone knows their role on the team. So 7 players on the field. Each of them are given different roles. Some will be what you call handlers. They're the ones that are catching and throwing the disc more. Others are the cutters or receivers, and so some cutters will be coming under to get those 15, 20 metre gainers, and then your receivers are typically your taller timber, because in order to throw longer you have to throw higher, so having a height advantage is a bonus.
They're identifying the one-on-one matchup that's going to have the advantage and only letting them have the deep space. So an offside's being called. So
that's a heartbreaker. Look where that disc ended.
Yeah.
Pretty late offside call as well, because I thought it was for a second, but
So offside is when the defensive team had crossed the line before the pool was released. So fresh chili will start from the brick mark. Bugaki, big long pull. He's looking for Matthias. He's put it out to his advantage. Matthias has to go early, but Phillips gone to the back of him. Matthias, he has to think about it, whether he would have got it or not. So he's called foul.
Yeah.
I think the discussion is going to be whether it had gone over the top of
head.
them before the contact was made. So you have a look at the replay. Like, this is a close.
Or whoever. Well, do you want to go you first?
Yeah.
I think both of you were sort of running the same direction, and Josh was directly behind you.
Yeah,
I don't think you made anything go into you. I think it was just there. So you're running together.
Yeah, I think you felt it in your back because you were kind of backpedaling. I thought I got it.
There would have been no backpedaling because I'm still attacking forward. But if I felt contact on my back, that's got to come from you.
I just didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Fellas, you got anything?
From what I saw, there was contact. However, it didn't impact the...
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay, if that's the case, then I'm happy enough with that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
contact for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm saying it was incidental contact. I'm saying the disc was right up here. I don't think I stopped you from getting the disc is what I'm saying.
Okay. So,
Track and foul.
So that'll be a turn. So spot on from, well, at least from our perspective. And as we said, there are a range of perspectives. The game advisor, there was contact. He was just a little bit underneath it.
Yeah, and great by Matthias there just to ask the game advisors over there, what did you see? And we're happy to accept their perspective.
Totally.
Of course, the decision's still up to him. It's not a binding opinion, and he was happy to retract the call based on what information he was given. So another opportunity for Mudlarks here. Big hammer put to Medic. Duncan. Coming towards him. Chile now wise to the long throws. They're playing deep with their players. Duncan, he's going to have to get rid of this. That's a high count. Finds Thorpe.
Excellent dump defense by Mateus. He forced Pat probably into 6 or 7 cuts there. He's going to do the same again.
Medic. What's happening? Thorpe, he's put the throw out. He's got Fox versus Backman. Backman's got the space underneath, but he's done well. Backman, he's got that away from him.
Yep. Used his body really well.
Yeah.
Protecting the disc, making Fox kind of reach in over the top.
Yep. He's done well. I think Fox acknowledged that as well. Just gave him a quick little, good job there, mate. We see Matthias flying there. Nearly got a hand on it. Yep. You see again, Backman, he's looked back and he's... Yeah.
And that's one of the gambles for Matthias on that bid. He didn't get it, which then gave Thorpe half a cell, probably a second or two, to have a look at anywhere on the field. But hey, you roll that dice.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Ride or die, baby. Rugaki.
Speaking of candy.
Matthias looking for an angled cut. Takes Backman who keeps the foot inbounds.
Great
huge
throw.
Inside shot to Thomas. Thomas just looking lateral, not looking downfield at all, but ends up having to. He sent it out. He's got Junker out there who has taken the clean catch. What a grab. Beautifully done. Fox frustrated with himself, but happy to acknowledge the play by Junker there. One of the more respected players of the Ultimate Scene, Junker. He's got a lot of fans from other clubs.
Yeah, he's hard not to like.
Yep.
In that case, he was the meat in the Mudlark sandwich. He had Fox on one side on the inside and Medic on the outside.
Yeah, Thomas, he only wanted to look infield, wanted to get the disc out of his hands and get downfield, but then, Junker's found space out the back and just watched the disc all the way into his hands. Wasn't overly concerned about the defender coming in.
Yep.
Gets collected a lot. He's got the kind of build where he doesn't win many physics contests. But
no. But well done from Fox not to engage in any contact.
Yeah, of course.
Actually avoided it, so it's nice to see as
Oh,
well.
you see Fox look up there thinking, oh, you catch that, mate.
Yeah. Dan, over to you.
Well, we finally have halftime in the other men's semi, Manly taking it in an absolute gut-wrenching point that went on for, well, since I gave the last score update.
Yeah, Dan, I felt like I looked over a couple of times. I felt like there was a discussion or a stoppage about 3 times. Was that the nature of the point?
Numerous stoppages and just an absolute battle, I think about 6 turns each.
Wow. Lean fields the pull for Geelong. Angelovic unguarded to Phillip. Gaining easy yards here, just with no defence, so they're at virtual brick. And again, Angelovic unguarded, he set it out to Evans. Evans has got Enza on his tail, but we're going to back Evans in on this one. Goes early, and he's got a second defender coming through. Luca Gonzini.
Excellent work from God.
I think there's going to be a foul. Yeah, the foul call. Yeah, uncontested foul.
But like you say, Simon, great closing speed from Gonzini.
Yeah. They are going to have a justice about what's going.
Well, I can confidently say that's the first time we've ever seen that.
What on earth?
A jig midpoint. Whatever gets your team up and about. As you called Simon Angelovic, no one on him.
Yeah, so boys, I'm standing right here. He would have caught it in field. His toes literally still in line as the contact has come from behind, which is supposed to essentially, I think it came off your wrist and it's bounced out. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I bowled him. Cool, thank you very much.
So, uncontested foul?
So an uncontested foul from Gonzini, who did really well. The closing speed was awesome.
And great by Matthias there. He was on the sideline, but he told his teammates he had a real good look at it and said, yeah, Evans absolutely would have caught that inbounds if not for the contact. So you should uncontest it. So,
and I think it was actually uncontested at the time.
Yeah.
So
thought one out with Telfer-Honeyman. Oh, he's done that 3 times. 3 times. He's just done that jab step.
That's the same cut.
Yep, and it's the third player that's copped that. They're going to have to. Those 3 young players are going to have a bit of a conference this season. And
there is a jig being done. – 14 years I've had, and I reckon you're probably closer to 20 playing this sport.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's a first.
I
quite like it. It's quite
I
talented.
I love it, but I'm just blown away because I've known Lewis for some time now, and I did not know he played the fiddle.
Played a fiddle, and it sounds like he can play it. He's not putting any effort in there.
As we see, we saw that foul call again. I think just the contention from the Chile players is whether Evans would have been inbounds. Like they weren't disputing that it was a foul. Like they knew that there was a good clip, but just whether it would have been out or not.
Yeah, similar to Isherwood's discussion.
Yeah, exactly. But great spirit by Matthias just to provide the perspective, even though it's detrimental to his team. More about being right than about being more about the correct outcome than the one of the advantages of the team. 11-9 to Mudlarks. They've had a great run of a few goals now.
Yeah, pressure back on Chile.
Forbes kept this full low and flat. It's going to land inbounds.
And they're onside this time because they gave up probably 45 free metres in that last point.
Yeah, they definitely stayed about 5 metres back from the line there. Junker, not many options forthcoming. He's going to have to get it out of there, but finds a short one to Perez. Patel.
Pressure
didn't
building
like it.
here.
Lots of cuts coming, but great defensive pressure from Geelong. He's just going to have to go for this. Spots Thomas, who finds that lateral space. Medic marking from the Ds. That's not going to be any good. And a pick called. Finally, a bit of scrambling from Chile's offense has created a bit of a tangle in Geelong defense. So I think both teams will be handy for that stoppage, that safety stoppage of the pick there. So, but Chile Carter's a long way away from the throw at the moment.
Yeah, the pressure's building.
Yeah. Junkery's big inside shot, finds Miller.
Great shot.
Miller has one look upfield, looks to go back to a handler. He's got a couple of options going, picks the upline one. He's put a bit on it. Aiden Howard's gone early. And Perez had no choice but to just let it drift. He couldn't double back because Howard was there.
Yeah. Just a little bit too much air, showing a bit too much lip.
Yeah, just relentless pressure from the Mudlarks there, just Felt like that turn was inevitable unless they got that relieving shot, that shot up the line to relieve the pressure. Delgado. Burchett.
This is huge, Simon.
Yep. Burchett tells Isherwood, get out of here, mate. I'm going to throw to Delgado. Isherwood's not worried about that, though. He's happy that the team got the goal. Brilliant work by Mark Delgado to that point. He had a lot of defensive pressure on his assignment there and then still just converted that into offensive generation.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, Delgado with probably the main assignment on Junker. They're going to run a lot of their offense through Junker.
Yeah, very creative around there, but Burchett just happy to take the time, wait for the gap to open up. And there would have just been clear voice from both Isherwood and Delgado to Burchett. Just no yelling, no scrambling, just when you're ready, mate. But Burchett, he's played with Ellipsis in Division 1 before.
Yep.
But now back with a hometown team.
He's an exciting one. And over on the other field, still a massive play. I don't know if Dan's got a view of that, but we certainly heard the cheers from, I think it was the Manly team. What's the update, Dan?
Yeah, Diggins and Butler over here taking over the game for Manly at the moment.
Fantastic. So exciting finishes set for both games, I think. And Manly, would that be an upset over status quo? I would have picked status quo going in, but
yeah, status quo did finish higher at the Eastern Region Championship. But head-to-head, I think they're pretty even. Chong. They're going with the side stack here. They're trying to isolate French. Ragaki looking for him.
The pressure's ratcheted right up, Simon.
Yep. Lederer wants to get that backhand out. Fox does not let him. Short forehand to White. Chong's got heaps of space here. He's absolutely blown up Medic. Finally finds the disc. Burchett just momentum worked against him there.
Yeah, he was trying to
again, that old physics equation comes into play.
Lock the park break in.
Yep. And Burchett, yeah, he's yeah, Burchett's absolutely not going to contest him. I don't think he realised just the effect his momentum had there. Just completely threw Chong off balance. So Chong will keep the disc with a fresh count. The full 10-second measure to look for an option. Ragaki comes right under. He's got a little angle on that throw. Lederer has to get down underneath it.
Great throw.
Chong doing the work this point. Wants a lateral. Godenzini. Good calm presence behind the disc, Luca.
Pick call.
Yeah, pick call in the stack. That was always going to happen. It's players start to take more shortcuts through the traffic.
And Chile need to make an adjustment here because they have no dump, which is that easy sideways or slightly backwards throw.
Yep.
The count, it would have dropped a couple, but I think it's still coming in on 3 or 4.
Yep,
and they're all too deep.
Yep. And so they had to... So Ragaki, he just sort of pointed it deep and said to Luca, look, just give us a bailout, let me take care of it. But, of course, with a lot of traffic there running through the stack, you're inevitably going to cause a pick.
Well, as far as bailouts go, Ragaki's not a bad one.
Oh, yeah. It's not the worst option you got, but now they're imploring field on the mark there to say, right, we know what that shot is now. Yeah, you're going to have to come around and block that one off.
I mean, Ragaki is deepest.
Yeah. And Field's done just that.
Yeah.
Another pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the fatigue starts to set in and people lose their structures. Right now, Chile too deep. What they've done better now is they do have a dump. Liam Patterson's come out, which is good, but they're still too deep. All the space that they're going to throw into is under.
They're going to look
This
to...
is a question here, I think.
Just where the stall count comes in on,
6.
Yep, 6. So he's got 4 seconds. So Patterson or launch it. There is 2 looks. He might get Chong, who's at the front of the stack there, to come to this near side, but sends it. Evans versus Ragaki. Ragaki goes up early, and he's taking a second go at it. A lot of Geelong players straight away saying down.
Simon, I'll tell you now, we are going to be asked a question, so let's watch.
Let's tee the replay up, boys. We're going to be asked.
Yeah.
Oh no, back.
Happy to accept the call.
Yep, Steve Baker, the game advisor.
Jeez, he got up though, got the touch.
And that's the reaction for that second look. Oh,
it just fell out of frame just as we saw it. So,
but Steve Steve Baker, our game advisor, perfect position, set straight away. Geez, some height on that. That one would have been a good 3.1 metres in the air, that disc.
It did hit the ground. And they're going to get back.
Overshoot there. So Chile with another go on offence. This game is going to go the distance. We're nearly about 5 minutes away from time cap. Beautiful loopy throw. Gonzini all on his own.
Starting to lift.
Yep, that's the one Fresh Chile needed to stay in touch. 12-10. Found another gear here, Andrew. We're going to cross over to Daniel Clinton, who's got an update for us.
Yeah, on the far field, Manly just with a heartbreaker. They're now at 10-7. They're starting to stretch their legs, and this poor status quo team are looking tired.
Of course, time cap not far away for that semi-final either. Great second effort there by Regaki.
Almost a great save.
Good shot by Gonzini, though. They'd show their hand a bit, but so Evans was ready, but close as you like, but
yeah. And the thing from Regaki, I can understand why he's asking the question, because it kind of bounced back up. The edge of the disc that he grabbed was off the ground.
Yes.
It wasn't the side that hit the ground first, though. So but good composure from Chile. I mean, they could have just shot into the end zone again and tried to do the same thing. Instead, hit the break. Floated it into the open side.
So we hear that second whistle now from the advisors indicating that offense need to have their hand up, which they do. We'll hear 3 whistles pretty soon if they don't pull, but Backman's ready. Sends it up. Plenty of hang time, plenty of time for the defence to get down. That will land inbounds. Angelovic closely guarded off that first throw.
Great rundown by Chile.
Yeah. Delgado. Scott Evans goes inside to Phillip instead, gets a follow-up.
It's like a more zone-based.
Yeah. Well, what's the switches? I think they've transitioned to match now, and so that's why Angelovic found that space, recognised that transition. Beautiful backhand gain out to Evans. Evans, he's got to look infield to Delgado. Hudson, and puts it out just to the advantage of Angelovic. Great. Really weighted that throw well, Hudson. Knew that Angelovic, the big-bodied lad, the tall, broad shoulders, no one was going to get around him. So all he needed to do was just put it to his advantage. Didn't need to put it on the chest.
Yeah, I think good throws all around that point. I think all of those throws, you can start to get a little bit of the rush of blood to the head stuff. You know, you see Chile putting some speculators up. You go, I've got to do the same. Instead, it was just really balanced, open throws.
And you see the cutting from Mudlarks. What they're doing, if you're a young player watching this, wanting to get some tips, what they're doing in the stack, they're not just getting to the stack and standing still. They're continually just moving upfield at a slower pace just to keep their defender moving with them, and then just a quick turn the other way just to get an easy under, because the Fresh Chile defenders are worried about that long shot coming from anyone. So their attention's on that top right corner of the end zone. And Geelong are just U-turning, getting those 45-degree angled passes instead. So 13-10 now the score. Bit of energy and pep in the step of the Geelong players now.
Yeah, but none of them will think this. The worst thing they could do now is think that they're close enough. Don't think about 15. No. Think about
this goal.
Chile going. Just keeping
on
them
defense.
out.
They have our disc.
And I reckon that one might be a little shorter. Fatigue setting in.
Chong to Regaki. To Scholes. Players very, very close to the disc. They want to open up some room out the back. Regaki, he's got players streaking long now. They're all heading away from him. Chong had a great second half. Implores the players just to come towards him. Burchett had a sniff at that, but he's come back in to put the mark on. Lots of players happening in. He's had no choice but to go over the top. Twists and turns from Matthias, but
I think he's hurt himself there. It's gone down. Abba had to do a lot of things in a short space of time. He had to track the disc, look at the line, make sure his feet were in. I think there was a touch on the disc too.
Fantastic effort, first contact with the ground would have been out, but he's done well to make something of it.
He's a bit sore. Nice grab from Patel as well, off his bootlaces. That disc was dying.
So Thorpe to start. back corner, 64 from goal. Would want to move it infield, which he does to Lean.
Isherwood and Regaki, the matchup.
Lean, a former Australian junior representative player, very experienced handler. Not phased by a lot. Howard floats it over to field. Not much coming towards him. Probably look for a midfield shot now.
Sniff for Abba, no.
Gone deep back into their own end zone. Thorpe to Isherwood. He's lost patience, wants to get out of there, reaches around, finds Birchett. Birchett's got the two-handed on it. Lots of players heading away from him. He's happy just to slow it down. He hasn't got a count. No rush to get rid of it yet. Regaki's going to the back of Isherwood. Birchett's still got time. He's got 10 seconds on. He's put it through the hands of field. Heartbreaker.
Yep.
Oh, you could.
Becky runs 2.
Regaki, Matthias unguarded.
Had a great game, Matthias.
He's put it out in front of Patel. That's probably got too much on. But Patel's chasing that down. He's going to have to go. He's done so well to get to that.
Yep. Nice closing speed.
Yep. This did slow down in the air. It looked like it was going to go out, but you can see it start to drop. And Patel, he'd committed. He did well because he committed. He knew he'd have to go like that in order to keep his
body in ground.
Yeah, keep the body in bounds, but keep the disc off the ground. So he's done very well to make something of that. But Mudlarks get another look at offense. We've ticked over 80 minutes. Thorpe's called the timeout.
Timeout. Water the call.
Water is the call.
It is. Longer points.
It is warm out there today.
As we head over to Dan Clinton on the far sideline. Dan.
Yes, it is warm in a tie and a long shirt. It is quite warm out here. On the far field, status quo just haven't got started after halftime. It's now 11-7 to Manly. They are just continuing to stretch their lead over there.
We could almost... we still going too close to call on that one, Andrew? Or are we happy to... too close to call. Yeah.
I think when you've got the experience on the line that you do with status quo, maybe they start shortening their lines a little bit.
4 goals is still doable.
Yeah. Although I've just seen them turn it over there, so this could be a dagger.
Yeah. So timeout was called there by Mudlarks. So they will get the disc on the restart, 64 from goal. They're going to have a quick chat. I think it was more just to have a break more than anything.
Totally.
I don't think there's anything they need to change what they're doing. And of course, it's also good for Chile as well to have that break. Daniel, could you hear what was going on in those conversations there?
Yeah, just tactical discussion there for Chile. They're going to come out in some sort of zone and try and make the Mudlarks throw a few more passes than just the one to score.
Good. Disrupt the offense. Good move.
And usually we'd ask what the Mudlarks spoke about, but I think we know that probably not a lot.
Yeah. So what will happen here is offense will set up. Once they're set, they cannot move. And so defense can set up around them. Yeah, we've done that. They've got... If we go on the wide shot, we can see Max Miller and Tom Regaki run what we call a bracket, where Max will take the unders. And they're taking the shot at Isherwood, but they've too good a throw. He's put it out in front of field, who this time makes sure of it.
The best of it.
And you can see the relief as he cocks their head back and go, right, I've had two heartbreakers, but that's the one that meant. So
great shot from Paddy, by the way, we should say. That one.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you're only going to look bad if you throw to a deep shot and Tom Regaki is the defender and it's deed, the easy thing someone will turn around and say, why did you shoot it to Gak?
Yeah.
So to be able to take that throw on, great cut from Isherwood, got the early separation. That is a stellar throw.
Oh, and Regaki was just wrong-footed to go up for that early, and so just had to, I guess, concede that Isherwood was going to catch that, so I had to dive in front of him to try and block that throw. But when you've got it centre field, you've got both end zone, both sides to look at. So
and that is one relieved player, Mitch Field. You could see it on his in his body language. Dan, over to you.
Well, status quo continue to bleed breaks in the far game. 12-7 the score. Manly are looking good for the one of these places in the men's final.
Of course, and we've reached our time cap of these semi-finals. So this game will go to 15. So it's still game to 15. We don't need to reduce the cap. I think over there, it'll probably be game to 12 by now, if not game to 13. So they won't quite go to 15. Of course, the women's final next, starting about half an hour from now. It'll be on Kayo Freebies for Australian viewers and Ultivids for international viewers. Backman Junker.
Junker's on his bike here.
Yep.
Junker's on his bike here.
Patterson. Inboard to Perez. Perez unguarded.
That was because of Junker's good work. He forced to a defender to drag, and he's got the disc now.
Perez, he's drawn a defender in, so there's a free shot there to Thomas. Thomas has got Patterson inboard, but Phillip get dragged it out of there, so Thomas back to Junker. Junker directing traffic now. He's got the voice up. Perez happy just to work it backwards and laterally, maintain possession, just continually reset that stall count. Junker.
He wants it out the break hard.
Yeah, he wants it up that top left corner. Just no one's moving there for him. Who's going there for him now? But Thomas has gone up that back corner. Thorpe's going to have to go early, and he's done it. Thorpe's gone up.
I mean, I know he turned it, but well done, Mark Junker.
Yeah.
Took the point on and said, right, we need something. Really good flow. Unfortunately, turned it over, but he was marshalling that offense.
Thorpe taking his time to walk. Got 64 to go. Heads laterally straight away. Delgado unguarded, but he's misread that. It's gone straight over his head, and Fresh Chili have another look.
Hand up
about 50 metres from goal.
He knew that was his bad.
Yep. Perez. The Junker's absolutely commanded that, and Birch has got the hand in. Yeah, no, he's called a hand block, and I think Birch says, no, you've got that one out. Let's have a look on the replay here. It would have been close. That's probably still. Yep.
I thought it was in his hand.
I'm like very convinced it was out of his hand. Just because I felt no resistance when I hit it. It didn't feel like it was in your hand at all. You can feel it when it's in your head, and I thought
it was in, but you're the only one that has a feel.
You want to change anything?
It's contested or a chuck. I'm very convinced it was out of your hand.
Foul is contested.
So a contested foul the call, as you heard from the players.
It was a pretty loose grip from Perez there, so I think that's why Burchett, he was making the point. He didn't feel resistance, so that's probably what he was thinking, but it was...
I think once he watches it back, he'll probably see what we saw. And
Things very different in the heat of the moment. Backman, great fake there. Oh, Burchett this time.
And he's happy about it.
Make sure of it. He's got two hands on that one. No resistance
No
at all.
resistance.
Thorpe. Couple of pump fakes. Medic.
Well, Backman, good closing speed. Backman gets one back. Great D.
Yep. Junker is content just to sort of slow the offense down. Takes the inside shot to Patterson. Perez, he's done the work. Patterson, and that's Liam Patterson.
Well done to Alexander Backman, though. That's a captain saying, right, game needs something.
Yep.
I'm going to go and get it.
So it was fantastic, leadership by Mark Junker as a senior player, just to really go right, take command of the offense, really marshal the troops. But Backman, with the disc in Junker's hand, you still need someone to actually generate that action, and Backman did that beautifully, as well as Perez and Patterson even getting involved. But you see that fake there, and he's found. You can see Phillip just on the left there. He's baited that shot and
into the lane.
And Burchett saw it coming, but run through from Backman, and we see it here. Good little give-go from Liam Patterson there, the youngster. He's first, I think, second year with the club.
Yeah, as we head over to Dan, who has an update. Dan, I think we have a result.
We do have a result. We have our first finalist for the men. It will be Manly going through. They defeat status quo 13-8 in the end.
The Manly Mullets into their first Open Division.
The Mullets.
Final.
Well, if it is, and we won't jump too far ahead, but if it is the Mullets versus the Mudlarks, that's going to make our job a bit interesting on the mic. But Fresh Chili will have something to say about that.
It's not done.
Not at all.
3 goals is doable. Lean.
Hey, look on right side.
Easy throw. They've just let Phillip have that one, and Phillip has one look at Isherwood, who was off the left of screen there, but didn't like it. He's got Lean unguarded in the middle, and he goes for the foul call straight away. Doesn't see any. Not contesting that one.
No contest, but I don't know.
What's
trying to work out the D. Yeah, so right now, James Lean, you'll see out, does not have a defender.
The spare. It's Ethan Tyfer at the front of Sack. Who's,
is he trying to get to him?
Yeah, he's going to get to him. Yep. So Regaki is still playing out, but you can see Isherwood at the top left of the screen just dragging Regaki out of that deep space.
It's a clever play.
Yep. And he's thrown it to Evans. Evans has got French to contend with. He boxes him out, and look at this. Evans, easy as you like, and that's the game,
That's a great box out. Yeah, I don't think any calls. Great box out from Ash. Probably a little bit too much air underneath that one, but Evans did really well.
And again, that's just faith in your receivers. Like, French was right there, but Isherwood's said, no, Evans has got this. And what looked like a close game, Geelong Mudlarks have run away with it and are into their third consecutive Division 2 final.
And a positive sign for the Mudlarks. I mean, we were saying it, it was not going to go anywhere in terms of that point separation. It was going to be close. But rather than the Mudlarks kind of drop one or two breaks, they managed to maintain their composure. So we've got our second finalist. So the final will be Manly Mullets versus the Geelong Mudlarks. And we have one of the Mudlarks players sitting with Dan Clinton now. Dan.
Yeah, MVP of the game, Josh Phillip. Josh, how'd you go out there, mate? Looked like you're moving pretty well.
Yeah, look, it's going pretty well. They took the first half and we were a bit worried. But look, it can go anyone's day. There's two really classy teams out here. And if we played a few more times, they could have won a couple. But yeah, just really stoked that we dug in there for a win.
So the interrupted preparation for a lot of teams has been an ongoing story. How did the Mudlarks prepare for this game and this tournament?
The Mudlarks prepared for this tournament by winning last year's tournament.
Okay, excellent. So you've already prepared then for the
We're
third in the row.
Ready to go for 2023.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, mate.
All right, thanks, Dan. Hey, can I just give a little shout out to the Zuck?
Okay, no worries. We'll leave it there. We'll go back to Andy Maroney and Simon Talbot.
I mean, Dan, you chose to interview him, so you should have known what you were in for. One of the more unique units on the Mudlarks, but an absolute classic, Joshi Phillips. So, Simon, we do have the women's final, I believe, coming up next, surely?
Yes, the women's final next between Underground out of Canberra and Zig 3 out of Adelaide. That's coming up in about 25 minutes from now on Kayo Freebies for Australian viewers and Ultivids for international viewers. Late beyond that, it'll be the Open final at 2 p.m. So two absolutely cracking games of Ultimate still coming up to wind up this tournament. And a reminder that April 21st to 24th will be the Division 1 Championships, the top 12 teams in each division, again at Nelson Bay, again available on KO Freebies and Ultivids. We'll take a break. We'll be back for the women's final soon.